Assalamu alaikum. I hope so you're doing fine. I'm Dr. Muhammad Ali Rabbani, and today we are going to discuss the attachments on the ischium bone. We will start with the muscular attachments and then we will move on to the ligamentous ones. And if you have not been following us, do check out our lecture. We have been discussing the bone from the beginning, the overview, side determination, anatomical position, the features attachments of ilium, features attachment of pubis, features of ischium, and now the ischium bone. So this is the thing that we are going to discuss now. So let me start our lecture. So we have discussed the bony features, and these are the things that we're going to discuss now. The muscles that are going to attach to this part, the ischium part, mostly visible from the inside view, from this view. So we will see in these lectures. So what are these, where are these, and how are these? So let's start from there. So moving on to this model, the 3D for medical. Okay, so we have done with ilium, pubis, and now the ischium part. Let us start from outside. Okay, let us start from here. So here is the greater sciatic notch, this one. Here is the lesser sciatic notch. On the margins of the lesser sciatic notch, on the upper and lower margins of the lesser sciatic notch near the spine and near the tuberosity, you get two gemini. Superior gemellus somewhere here and inferior gemellus here. Somewhat their attachments has been a little pronounced here. These attachments are little less conspicuous in these are very small muscles. So just near the ischial spine, you get superior gemellus, just above the tuberosity, inferior gemellus. Below on the tuberosity, you get on the femoral aspect, just at the this lateral margin, you get this quadratus femoris muscle. This quadratus femoris muscle. On the inside, we talked about the supralateral and inframedial areas. In the supralateral area rather, you get semimembranosus muscle, and in inframedial area, you get two muscles, that is semitendinosus and long head of biceps femoris. So these are the muscles that you're getting from the upper half. In the lower half, you can see the medial aspect is empty. On the lateral aspect, there is attachment of adductor magnus muscle. The medial is padded with fat, and this is the part that also helps you with the pelvic brim, also some part in it sitting to, and pelvic brim. So you have on the upper and lower margin, upper and lower gemelli, superior and inferior gemellus. In the lateral border, you have quadratus femoris. In the supralateral, you have semimembranosus, and the inframedial, you have biceps long tendon and biceps long tendon. Sorry, semitendinosus and long head of biceps. And in the lower half, on the lateral aspect, you don't have any attachment on, but on the medial aspect, you don't have any attachment, but on the lateral aspect, you have attachment of adductor magnus. If you look at from the outside, you can look at the adductor magnus attachment going all the way from tuberosity to the ramus. Sometimes this attachment of adductor brevis may extend up to the ischial part of the ramus, but usually not. And then there was obturatus externus on the outside, that was again a part of all three, pubic and ischium part. Looking at from the inside, you get this obturatus internus, obviously part of pubic, ilium, and majorly ischium part. And in the beginning, in the anteriorly in the pubic part, we talked about the levator ani attachments, the different parts levator ani, that are pubococcygeus and puboanalis part, and it attachments continues to go in this direction all the way till here. So this is ischiopubic part. So these three muscles, pubococcygeus, puboanalis, and ischiopubic, they together they form the levator ani muscle. So levator ani starts from here and goes all the way and ends here. As you can see, if you can put them together visually, I'm not doing it for you right now. So this whole diaphragm, that is the pelvic diaphragm, levator ani part of the pelvic diaphragm. The pelvic diaphragm consists of two muscles, the levator ani part was further divided. We talked about it. And then there is this, the from the ischiopubic muscle. It is starting from the ischium bone, ischial spine, going to the sacrum and coccyx part. I don't have coccyx right here, but it's there, believe me. So that's that. And in the lower part of the ischiopubic ramus, on the inner aspect, you have some muscle for the urogenital diaphragm, like deep transverse perineal muscle. This is the ischiocavernosus muscle going to support the external genitalia, and then there is superficial transverse perineal muscle. So these are the set of muscles that we will discuss in a little more detail when we will do the perineum part of our anatomy. So these are all the muscular attachments. So we will move on now to the ligamentous ones. Okay, let us see this. So I have added all the ligaments here. So you can see here, this is the sacrotuberous ligament. We discussed this in ilium part 2, by the way. It is attached on the posterior border of the ischium and going attached to the sacrum and coccyx and all the way to ilium 2. And here is the sacrospinous ligament. It is attached to the sacrum here and spinous process here. And as you can see that these ligaments are the one that are going to convert these notches into foramina. So this is greater sciatic foramen and this is lesser sciatic foramen. So they are going to make up these structures. And so we're done with that. Let us remove these, and we'll keep on doing that and keep on removing one by one. So we have done this. Then there is ischiofemoral ligament, the one that is starting from the posterior margin of acetabulum and goes above and to the front, and it gets attached to the femur, the ischiofemoral ligament, and that is the ischiofemoral ligament. Then comes the attachments on this lower margin. This lower margin of ischiopubic ramus gives attachment to a lot of things. And the fascia lata, as it was circling the thigh as a whole, on the medial aspect, it gets attached here in the inferior ischiopubic ramus. So it gets attached here. So this is the fascia lata attachment. Then there is the two fascia. The fascia of the perineum, the fascia that is beneath the skin, in the skin between your scrotum and anal area, or vagina and anal area. So this is the perineal area. So this is the fascia. It is attached again to the lower margin, and above it there is a perineal membrane, and below, between them, you get the external genitalia part. In males, the bulb of Venus is lying here, bulb of vestibule, bulbourethral glands. Also, these things are present in female there. So this is the superficial perineal pouch is present between them. So this is the perineal membrane, the one in green here, and this is the perineal fascia or Cooley's fascia. These are attached here too. So these are the fascia of the perineum. Again, exact detachments and things, we will discuss them then. Obturator membrane, we will discuss that in the pubic bone also, encircling the whole of the pubic foramen, getting attached all the way. And then we are left with this ligament. This is the transverse acetabular ligament. So this is the transverse acetabular ligament, and this is the one that is going to bridge the notch of the acetabular articular surface. So that is the transverse acetabular ligament. So that's it. That's all about the attachments of the ischium, the muscular attachment, and the ligamentous attachments. So thank you so much for listening, and with this we officially conclude the hip bone with its all the bone features and the attachments, the muscular one and otherwise. If you have any suggestions, feedback, and questions, please let us know in the comments below. We'll try our level best to answer. And if you like this video, do subscribe and do invite other people too. See you in the next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.